With that, it is the discretion and policy of the Chair that we begin by reading our Oversight Committee mission statement. We exist to secure two fundamental principles. First, Americans have a right to know that the money Washington takes from them is well spent. And second, Americans deserve an efficient, effective government that works for them. Our duty on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee is to protect these rights. Our solemn responsibility is to hold government accountable to taxpayers, because taxpayers have a right to know what they get from their government. We will work tirelessly in partnership with citizen watchdogs to deliver the facts to the American people and bring genuine reform to the Federal bureaucracy. This is the mission of the Government Oversight and Reform Committee. Today's hearing is on the United States Postal Service, where publicly traded Today's hearing is on the United States Post Office and the new contract. Were the Post Office a publicly traded company, it would be among the 30 largest in America, having revenues of $70 billion. Its 30-plus thousand post offices exceeds that of Starbucks and McDonald's combined. Over the years, the Post Office has gone from a growing and thriving industry, able to sustain positive cash flow and effectively positive profits. That is now in our taillights. Today, members of the active workforce enjoy approximately $11,000 worth of legacy burden into their pay, meaning that when the Post Office looks at its cost of doing business, it in fact has legacy costs that very much resemble General Motors before its bankruptcy. The Post Office cannot and will not renege on its promises to those already retired. We cannot and will not renege on the obligation that we have to the American people, both under the Constitution and under hundreds of years of tradition of the Post Office. Every day, 6 days a week, the American people expect that a letter will be delivered directly to their box in front of their house, down the street, or often in a chute in their door. The contract negotiated, not yet ratified, is intended to allow the continuation of a history of collective bargaining, but compromises sufficient to allow the Post Office to emerge from what is at best a break-even, and by some estimations a $5.5+ billion loss, and to get to a positive position able to meet all of its obligation, both present and legacy cost, in the foreseeable future. This contract falls short of that goal. It's very clear the intention is good. The Postmaster has worked diligently to get some concessions. However, we will hear today that we, in fact, under current law, may not be able to negotiate the contract that needs to be negotiated. Additionally, from this position on the dais, we have deep concerns that some of the provisions of the contract might in fact be the wrong direction, toward less flexibility, less ability to trim the workforce, and less ability to make the kind of investments in the future that we need to make. Having said that, this committee stands ready to make legislative changes that may be needed in order to secure for the Post Office the kind of abilities to reinvent itself it needs. Additionally, this committee in the past, on a bipartisan basis, has been willing to delay certain required deposits in order to allow the Post Office time to regroup. At the same time, the hundreds of thousands of letter carriers and postal workers deserve to have a level of certainty that allows them to plan their future, a future in which the Post Office is able to deliver efficiently a product in a reasonable cost and, in fact, meet its obligations. To that extent, we intend to hear from all the participants that we can over a period of time. Today, we have 4, but I assure you, both at the full committee and the subcommittee, we will be hearing many, many, many more.